Hello, everyone. Welcome to the channel. It's the Absolute King here. I'm Dylan. Very good of you to come gather round as I talk to you endlessly on today's video. There will be a second part, so sorry that it's split into two, but I hope you click on the second one after watching this. So, Disventure Camp. Now, I would like to talk about the current season going on, but today I am writing my own season. So, early boots, what are they? They are those who were booted early in their season, which means they really aren't important characters at all. Usually the screen time goes to the end gamers because those are the ones who's going to be here the longest and is going to be making the drama if the season. But that doesn't make an early boot a bad character. Just because a character gets voted out earlier than a later merger doesn't mean they're worse than them. If an early merge boot has an arc that makes sense, that befits their time they receive, then they serve just as an important role as late mergers. They make early game drama, which sometimes could be non-interesting, like Sadie and Katie's drama in Total Drama Island. Just one example, if bad pre-mergers. But someone needs to go in each slot for a boot order, so sign people get the short end. It happens on Survivor, and the edit dies its job presenting them in importance to the players, stun them, abdi their specific L-side boot AB reason. Not always, it can sometimes go a certain bad way, but everyone has to be satisfying for that pick. For a good season, there had to be a good story every episode, albeit it can't just be reliant on one main character. Season Samoa would have been better if Russell Hantz wasn't the only human being on the planet as portrayed on the season. It can be satisfying for an early boot to go in their spot if their story is right, but sometimes they are just nothing characters. It's not bad, it's just that not everyone can do it right or be in the story right. I'm going on too long here. Point is, what am I talking about? I have written a season with characters eliminated early, and we're pre-mergers for a second chance season of losers. Someone called Jeff Varner because he's going to want to be a part of this. But don't tell him who's gay or trans. He won't be able to help himself. Now, before I go over my season notes, since I already stated how a pre-merger early boot could offer a season, I should state how limited their importance can be. Now, if you want a character to go farther in a second season, there's not always much you can do. Sometimes pre-merge characters work because they go out early. Characters need personality traits and dynamics with other characters to bounce those off of, but some characters don't have much to work with in any cast you put them with. Like Bee or Dawn in Revenge of the Island, you like and want to see more of them, but for a character who can't talk, so therefore can't interact with them, and a character whose whole personality is nature and animal good and people I can read like a book, you can't really bounce them off with anyone. So keeping them longer is impossible. They worked well because they had a slimy villain in Scott to do the work for them. Now, some early boot characters have potential not expanded on, but others reach all they're meant to as an early boot, and second runs are harder. If you like them thinking they have a good personality and want to see them do farther, but if they don't have dynamics or can build drama, which is the main point of these shows, then you can't bring them far. So this is going to be hard doing this season. I've stated before on this channel, I'm not too creative, so this isn't going to be too deep, but I'm trying my best and trying to add the most I can here. I'm more of strategy than drama guy, so I can't write things I'm not good at. So I'm going to lead into character teams. Now let me introduce who's in the season. From season 1, I have Will, Nick Lil from the purple team, all Fior's victims whose only story point was to get eliminated to show the dynamic trio's early villain works. If you went by survivor logic, they were Russell Hantz's Foa victims, so no need to show them when Russell is the leading man. There's other Apex AmpKs from Survivor I can use, but that's the best. They had 4 confessionals between them, while Ashley, their leader and breakout star, had 7. Fiora had 9, while Alec and Ellie each had 3 in those 5 episodes with them. So these 3 I'm bringing back are not big story potential guys. From the other team whose color I didn't remember, and I am not going to look up for the sake of this video, you have Drew and Dan. I'll get into them later. The only person I'm not using from this season is Ashley. She already got her undeserved pre-merger, but call back anyway. like Michaela and Wentworth, but Wentworth actually made use of it, turning into an important name. From season 2, I'm bringing in First Boot Oliver, Poor Boot Kai, Girl Boss Maggie, and that's it. Carol returned later in that season. Yule came back for All Stars and made it past the merge, and Connor did too. I could expanded the numbers to include these guys, but I like my number at 18. And beside, you can't realistically have Yule make it past the first vote. Abd Carroll has no character potential. Connor's too old and should retire from competing. I would want him back with his wife, we see in the All Stars finale, for Blood versus Water season. We could have Rita and her sister come on, then we can see Rhea deal with her former Contoy's new wife. But I'm not writing Blood versus Water. This is second chance. Maybe another video sometime later. Who knows? Um, from Carnival of Chaos, all 6 pre-merger eliminations who didn't return later in the game. Benji and Natalia came back for fans versus favorites, so those who ranked lower should come back. I'm not including fans versus favorites fan eliminations because the season is still airing, so it's too soon. Plus, we don't know who's returning, though I did try figuring that out in a recent video. Go watch it, please. As for All Stars, I got 4 spots left to fill up to 18 and 7 pre-mergers, not including Connor. So the 2 left out are Miriam and Lake and Fiora. Miriam already won. She really shouldn't have came back for Ally Stars, and they didn't plan on it. She's like Rudy, who was too old his first time in Borneo, then got voted out early for being too old in All Stars. Ethan Zone's thankful. Miriam got voted not for being old in All Stars, but come on, you didn't need any other reason but that, unless you want more bland drama. So, thank you, Alec. Lake's already in the current season, so she doesn't have to come back, especially when she seems like an end gamer or an early boot to push on Rosa Maria or Bruno, probably by Spencer to fulfill that tension setup. Fiore is also in that season, so no need. But the other 4, who are James, Hunter, Ellie, Tess, are in. So now that the preamble is done, let's do Disventure Camp Second Chance. I got the team set up as Team A, being Linda, Ted, Tristan, James, Oliver, Kai, Will, Dan, Drew, versus Team B's Hunter, Tess, Ellie, Alessio, Ivy, Diego, Maggie, Lil, Nick. Those are the starting tribes. Let's start. 18th place goes to Nick, who gets voted out for not trying in the challenge, losing it for Team B. First boots in Survivor are usually unanimous, and so should the first boots here because we haven't built up character dynamics or opposing alliances yet. I will have him having issues with Lil after their last time out, but according to Ashley, I think that was fixed off screen. So maybe they are just having triumvirate working together again because of last time. They have bad memories. Lil will be the only one on his side. Team A loses, so Linda takes 17th place. She had been annoying everyone on her team, Abdi Trude Taige Charge being the ultimate mom in control. And Ted had cut her off, even trying to help, even though she betrayed him in the comeback challenge of their season. Team B loses this time, and it's Diego. He's 16th place. This is after a 4-person alliance in Hunter, Tess, Ellie, and Maggie targeted him. I guess because he was a threat, and Ellie pushed for it. Maggie could be upset because I'd imagined she would have gotten close to him. Hunter and Tess, because obviously. Tess is connected to Ellie, and they will try to work together this game after last time. And Hunter brings in Maggie. Hunter and Ellie is a dynamic I wished for in All Stars. His awkward trying to be coolness and her bland insulting everything, but can be real personal ness is something we should have gotten. And both of them are really going to be trying to play hard to win this game, but in different ways. Team B loses again, and they vote out Maggie at 15th. This is after Ellie flipped to get rid of the person she wasn't close to, but the rest of the alliance was. This is what I mean, playing differently. Hunter wants to play hard working on relationships, while Ellie is doing the Ellie usual, and there's going to be drama between Tess, where Tess will eventually try to bring her back and play the good people's alliance way. Nick was because he realistically wouldn't last long, and same for Linda. I had nothing for Diego or Maggie. I did not know where to take them. Diego's whole story is intertwined with Spencer, and Maggie had her arc of getting love and standing up for herself in her season. She is an example of a good pre-merger boot story, but bad for later season runs. Team A finally loses, and it's 14th placer Kai after Dan gathered a dominant alliance with Drew, Will, and Oliver, plus Ted trying to tame over as a majority. Dan is upset at his previous failures and wants to take hold of this game this time. So he gathers a group of like minded people who wanted to play hard, like Oliver, but got shot down too early for unfortunate failure reasons like Will. Ted is playing all sides. He's the real main architect in this alliance. Kai was an outsider that not even the other outsiders got along with. I can't see a single connection for him. Maybe peace calming connection with Will or Oliver. I'm not really doing anything with Will, but I'm not sure how their connection. Kai and Oliver were both isolated on their teams pretty fast, being iced out first, so I can see a connection, but I don't feel like if they weren't shown friends on their season together, they would be here. Point of Kai is to tell whoever to chill out and do what he does. Then they can switch to focusing on the game to play real hard, but for fun. And the person he's connected to eliminates him anyway, a part of their alliance's plan. Kai can bond with both Will and Oliver, I guess. I don't want many people trying to stick up for him, otherwise, there's less reason to vote him out. Dan could have a dislike for Kai trying to recruit him, but was shot down by Kai's early, don't want to play hard behavior. As for Ted's involvement, I don't know. Ted could have tried to ally with Kai, seeing him as a goat and a puppet he can control, but begrudgingly went with his alliance, or what I planned for Dan, and get annoyed at him, and then Kai starts hating the strategy, forced way he's playing like Alessio, voting for Ted, his first and only vote. This could be what might push Kai to start wanting to play before his elimination. I don't think it fits his character, though, and it's repeating Alessio in the carnival. Kai was just too weird having no friends except for the one or two I might have mentioned, but they weren't willing to stick out for him, so he was an easy vote. Kai can be upset. Maggie went, and he asked to go, or he could have a Gabe arc from Marquesas, having not really wanted to betray anyone, creating a conflict like with Gabe, where John Carroll got mad. He wasn't agreeing to fall in line. I don't know. I don't have a solid plan for Kai or where to take his character. That's why he's eliminated early. You can pick which way hear him you like the best. I don't care about him. This is more about the people who vote him out. Uh, I can make Dan the villain in this case, or Ted could be pulling the strings here. If you don't think Ted would fit into that alliance, then he could be on the outside, which I think would be unfortunate since that's where we saw him his last time. I suppose he could have gripes about it, so he wants to change his fortune around. Ted can manipulate things to make Kai the target, Abdi be the most outsider on his tribe. 13th goes to Drew after Ted gathers the outsiders in James and Tristan and got Oliver to flip because Oliver wasn't sure about his position being paranoid after last time. James was Dan's alliance's target. I had nothing really to do with Drew. He can't talk, so his only dynamic is with Dan, so he gets taken out to weaken him. I should mention James was isolated because he's a winner, and Dan is threatened by that and feels he shouldn't be back for a second chance season. Tristan not wanting someone to be on the hours makes a connection to him, and he doesn't fit in with the other group either. They might have not started out good with James not being the most welcoming person, but that can change. Now, they can have a good connection because James was alone before Aiden on season 2. He only had his online fans. Tristan has his whole being rejected by his family, so he's trying to find a place, and he has that with Ivy and Benji. Zayd too, I guess, but not really. 12th goes to Lil of the B team. After Ellie convinced her allies Lil betrayed them and outsiders Alessio and Ivy that Lil's the problem. I couldn't really do anything with Lil post Nick because she has no other dynamics. So I guess Lil was likable one on her tribe and was a part of Hunter's group to gain the numbers on their tribe. But Ellie saw that as a threat, and she needed to pin her crimes on someone. Tess won't fully buy it, but wants to believe in Ellie and turn her back to the good side. Team A loses, and it's 11th place Oliver. Oliver's only story is being with Crystal, so bringing him back was hard. I decided to make him determine not to get screwed again like last time, so he is trying hard. That might make sense because it could be better to have him less hardcore game focused, since that's what screwed him last time, and he could be here for the good vibes and to play a steadier game. But like Coach in 50, he couldn't help but fall back into old routines. and that's his downfall. This is all after Ted flipped on him, making him the fall guy.